So this one's gonna be Bisu against 0 on Neo Jade, and the hotkey is gonna be on Bisu. So beginning of the match, not much happening, just hotkey and random stuff. The 4 on the Nexus is the one that matters here. Now hotkey is probe on 1, 2, and 3, and the Nexus 4. And he puts the pylon on 5. Now this is a technique that a lot of pros use to keep their build orders as tight as possible, where they hotkey the stuff that's building, whatever is important, which in this case the pylon is the only thing that's happening. And it's a good thing, because here's one thing, a lot of new players, they like to read guides that talk about supply counts or timings, and using supply counts to have your build order is a bit, it's not a very good thing because of a few reasons. One is that it's much easier to remember stuff if you are doing things in for example, after making a refinery you make an academy, right? This is easier to remember than make a refinery at 24 and academy at 26 or something like that. Another reason is because sometimes in the early game stuff happens and then your supply counts are all changed, so if you only know supply counts you're gonna have a bad time. And also the last reason is because if you keep looking at this region of the screen, this is the worst region that you should have your eyes on. Instead, the most important thing to look is, of course, the center of the screen and the minimap. So having the bad habits of looking at the top left, top right is bad. So pros do this, good amateurs do this. You just use the builds as a guide instead of the supply count, right? So he's doing this forge expansion. He puts the forge on 6 again to just keep track of what's going on. And Bisu does this on number 6. He uses this number to keep track of. He has 1 probe on 2 and 1 on 1. He uses 6 to keep track of his build order in the beginning. So now he's going to make a Nexus, and he's using this probe to just harass the Zerg player. The Nexus is not grouped at any point in this game, which is surprising to me. Now he puts the gateway on 5. Eventually. Yes. This beginning is always the same, so not too much to talk about. And the gateway is on 5. Oh, he made a cannon, that's why. It wasn't the gateway. Now he has to give up. And 0 took the base and the other natural, so pretty standard stuff. Now he puts the 6 on the simulator instead. So again, using 6 to keep track of his build order as much as possible and have all the timings down. And now his cybernetics is on 6. Same reason. And now it's 1 and 2 for the scouts, so I don't know what's up with that. His Zealot is coming. Now he makes a Stargate, which is going to go on 6 eventually. He's probably microing his probe now. And now his Stargate is on 6. That's pretty much as far as 6 goes. So his Zealot is grouped now. His other Zealot's grouped now. This is gonna be it for the beginning of the game. Nothing is going to change significantly here. His first Corsair is gonna come out and is gonna take the number 1 group. He still has no Nexus hotkey for the natural, so just make He's using the main hotkey, the main nexus to like have an idea on how, like when he needs to make another probe on both nexuses. So now he has this, and that's it. He's controlling his Corsair and has Zealots on 2. Now what he's gonna do with the Zealots, he's gonna use the 2 to split the Zealots and control the one that's killing the workers. So here he only controls this one. This is on 2 and the other one is just fighting, just the AI. And he's massing the Corsair. Now here is the Citadel, which is not grouped as well, so he basically just using 6 for the Corsair. Now he makes another gateway, so 6 is gateway and the Corsair, the Stargate goes to 7. And here's the thing, 0 is also the Corsair, which is something that he does because he knows he's gonna overwrite the Corsair group eventually. Because he's gonna have army and stuff like that. And Bisu is one of the best, if not the best pro as far as keeping the Corsair alive goes. So he's gonna need to have a separate group for the Corsair. So he uses 0. But for now they're on 1 as well. The Zealots are group 2 and 3. That's pretty much it. It's very important to group your macro stuff because it's repetitive, right? Every game is just the same, so micro is something that you need to be paying attention anyways. So having your macro stuff grouped means you can pay more attention to the micro. Corsair is here, nothing too much, not too crazy. I believe it is, now he groups his probe on 3. He's making another base. He's doing some Corsair stuff. He grouped all of his gateways, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 is the Stargate now. Here he split his Zealots. It's quite he puts 3 on the ramp, so he grouped the 3 so he can control them. And the other ones aren't grouped at all. And he's just chilling, taking his expo, playing defensive. Corsair just chilling as well. And now he groups this probe because he's gonna make some gateways and a pylon. And he's up to 9 Corsair. Gonna do some damage. He tries to get the Templar to do something, but there is a spore colony, so he just leaves the Templar as a scout. And Chu is still the probe because he hasn't changed, so now Chu is the Corsair as well. The DT is on 3, and now it changed to the Zealots. Now Zealots on 2 and 3. And now we're gonna see him transition to like a more standard hotkey that he uses in every PVZ, which is melee units on 1 and 2, Dragoons on 3, and 4 is for specialty units, so High Templar is Shuttle, and 5 is Observer. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit because nothing happens for a while. He just goes, put some pressure. Now you can see the Dragoons on 3. So his army is 1, melee units, 2 the same because he doesn't have any more. 3 is only Dragoon, and 0 is for the Corsair because he needs the 1 now, and once he gets High Templar, he's gonna put on 4. The thing with Bisu is like he's one of the few pros that have a dedicated hotkey for Observer in this matchup, and I think it's one of the reasons why he is so successful, because a lot of Zerg snipes your observer, and if they snipe your observers, you have to back out so they can drone more and they can just develop their economy too much. And because Bisu always has dedicated hotkeys, he avoids getting his observer sniped a lot. It also acts as a bait because he can, like, the opponent still tries to snipe, but because he can control well, he baits hydras to be out of position, stuff like that. Still like a little bit chill. Can't follow because, you know, too fast, but now he has High Templar, finally. He's gonna speed this up a little bit because now the observer on 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is pretty much the setup that he uses in 6, 7, 8, 9 is always the gateway, and 0 is still the Corsair. The entire match he doesn't use 6, 7, 8, 9 for anything else. So that's pretty much. I'm not gonna show this entire match because it's 35 minutes long, and it's a very slow match. It's a lot of posturing with the armies, and there's some trading, but it's nothing crazy. Bisu wins in the end, and this is pretty much how it works. Once he gets the shuttles, he starts using 4 on the shuttle because the High Templar he puts just with his zealots on 1 or 2. And the shuttle needs more babysitting, so he uses 4 to be a dedicated hotkey. And he also does drops without hotkeys sometimes. Like if he has a big army and he's doing a drop, he just drops with no hotkey. He just controls it manually. So that's pretty interesting. That's pretty much gonna be it for this video. Not the most interesting game, but still I hope you guys learned something. Interesting to note that he's banking almost 7k minerals, and he's still on the, I think the max gateways he goes in this entire match is 12. And I think it's because like he realizes that this is going to be a slow game, and having big production is not going to mean too much. It's not going to matter. So instead he uses his money to like save up and win the late game if in case like the base is mined out. He focuses a lot on good trades instead. You can see another big fight here, and just 4 shuttle, making sure he goes away with the shuttle alive. And then he splits his army because he kinda lost the battle there, so he just does some harassment. And yeah, once he gets this base, I'm actually gonna reach the end of the game because it's 8 times speed, but yeah, he gets his base, and then the Zerg can't win anymore because the top base is being contested too much. So that's gonna be it for this. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.